Welcome everybody, House Party 5v5 Saturday League, and the Championship Series is on. I am your host, Anson. Welcome to the show. We're going to be going strong from 5 until who knows when tonight. We've got two great games. Industrious Gaming versus Hands of God is first up. Industrious going to be on the blue side, Hands of God on the red. Joining me on the analyst desk, my good friend Dave.
What's going on?
And also, for the first time, Mr. Deck Club Ace, a.k.a. Deck. Welcome, Deck.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Glad to have you here, and glad to get this match kicked off and going proper. You know, it's going to be quite a contest between these two. I don't know how many of the viewers remember our first time that we ran up against this matchup. It was actually back in, I believe, week 3. And we had quite a showing there. There wasn't first blood until the 21.5-minute mark, believe it or not. The last time these two teams faced up, it was a really close game with, of course, a lot of nuance, a lot of interesting picks going on. And I'm curious to see how it's going to turn out this next time around.
I'm very excited, mostly because both teams are. I don't want to say new rosters because IG has had about the same roster, but they have two new people on their team right now, and it's very refreshing to see some new faces around, as well with Hands of God, which is almost a brand new roster coming from week 1. A lot of talent, a lot of tilt on both teams, so it's basically going to come down to who can really show up this game and not get relegated out of the tournament, and that's basically what both games come down to. But the Alistar Jinx, Wumple on Jinx, which is kind of surprising to see because I haven't actually seen him play Jinx in a while. Something definitely new for him, as well with Alistar, which is awesome to see in my opinion.
Well, they got his Urgot taken away from him, and
yeah.
I'm not sure if maybe that was a pick that he was taking away from Industrious, perhaps. I'm not sure. Does Splash play a lot of Jinx? I haven't seen Jinx on very many AD carries in this league outside John the Greatest.
Yeah, not a lot of people have been playing Jinx, even though she's kind of been in this really strong, I would say, position for quite a while. I do think Callista and Urgot have kind of taken over as the two best ADCs at the moment, but the thing is Callista wasn't banned or picked by Wumple, which is still pretty surprising to see, but either way, definitely excited to see Callista.
Sorry, Callista did actually just get a very minor nerf though as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is something to consider. A lot of Callista players are telling me that it's not that big of a deal. It's a tiny adjustment, not a nerf hammer. So, you know, it remains.
I think it's like 10 units. It's like 10 units backwards.
Like short.
So it's honestly not even that big of a nerf, in my opinion. It's, I think, more of a quality of life change to kind of give her a little bit more balance. But even then, it's more of a balance. Still puts her still in the top 2 spots of ADCs. I think what the goal with IG though, without banning out the Callista, was to force him on the Callista, and I think Hands of God kind of maybe sniffed that out and wasn't expecting them to pick up Jinx over the Callista.
Now, Industrious Gaming came out ahead the last 2 times these teams met up. Hands of God, a lot of roster changes. Google's joined the tournament. He's an excellent player. I feel like Hands of God have shored up a lot of their problems, and they could be a sleeper hit in this tournament. I definitely expect them to come out a lot stronger than they did in their previous game against Industrious Gaming.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I also see one of the big things about both these teams is it's kind of known amongst the community that both teams really rely on either A, their mid laner getting ahead, or B, their bot lane getting ahead. And basically, you know, Liquid Swords or Lord Merc, and I think it's going to be a Pocket Knife in the bot lane, yeah, versus Wumple and Sala. This is either going to be a super aggressive bot lane, or, you know, not sure about that, but either way. And on top of that, the mid lane is basically going to it's basically who's gonna be. It's whoever wins the lane is kind of gonna turn into the big thing for this game. I think that's kind of how it is.
Well, take a look at team fighting when it comes down to crowd control. There's a lot going on for Hands of God right here. If Google can get the Gnar ultimates in the right spots, I mean, Salah is just there to play complete cleanup. You're looking at a lockdown of potentially 4 to 5 members of IG at once, and there's just a lot of wombo combo potential, I think, coming out of Hands of God.
Yeah, and IG does have a good wombo combo. You put the Maokai and the Gragas Orianna combo. I mean, that's a huge front line on top of an Orianna, and you still have the Janna Sivir for the backline defense. But the only problem I see with IG's team is that they really don't have any damage. I mean, granted, Orianna does have some base damage at the start, and she ends up doing some damage in the mid and late game, but Sivir is one of the few ADCs that's more about, alright, get the AoE off and I'll be able to throw a boomerang and sit there with my ricochet and do some damage, but they don't really have some consistent damage coming out, whereas Hands of God, they have Jinx with her rockets.
Jinx is a hyper carry.
Yeah, the hyper carried base damage on top of the Ziggs is, I mean, as long as neither of them get caught out, they can keep on poking and keep on pushing them back and forcing fights to go in their favor.
Yeah, I don't really like the Sivir pickup here. I'm not sure what IG we're going for, but I really like the Janna pickup. There are so many things that a Janna ultimate can do just to completely screw over a well-planned, prepared Hands of God team fight. I really feel like a lot's going to rest on Pocket Knife in this game.
I mean,
I'm not so sure about the Sivir specifically in the matchup. Before their team combat works very well as a form of initiation without actually having to use the Gragas ult or the Orianna ult, so they can actually get in before they have to use all of their abilities.
Yeah, I agree with that. And if you get a good 4 or 5 man Orianna ult, hell, even like a 3-man ult, if you grab one of the carries, throwing out the boomerang blade right after that, and on top of just autoing with the ricochet, you end up doing a lot of damage as Sivir. Granted, she doesn't have a good 1v1 or like a 2v2 damage spike, especially in the early game. She might be able to do some damage, but with a Janna, it's a little bit questionable. It's really risky, and it's really relying on Splash hitting those big Orianna ults and coming out on top of that. So it really, like I said, it really comes down to hitting the wombo combo, and like I said, Sivir does pull out that great initiation with her ultimate on the hunt to push the Maokai and the Gragas into the team fight without having to use some form of Orianna ult or Gragas barrel to throw him back into the team.
And you notice there's no exhaust on Hands of God, and really looking at IG, I don't think they need it. I think it was actually a smart choice by Salah to go with the Ignite.
Yeah, and I'm going to inform our audience, I might call Salah Sally or Salad occasionally, just because I've called him that in the past. I'm so unsure how to pronounce his name. I think it's Salah, Sally. I'm just going to... It's a weird name, but
we could call him
either
Sally.
Way.
We'll just call him Sally. That sounds manly.
It's a very manly name. I mean, I've actually met a man named Sally. I think he went to my college, so...
Let's spice it up a bit. We'll call him Mustang Sally.
Oh,
Mustang
man.
Sally.
See, it is a very manly name. So,
there you
Saleh.
All right, folks.
Saleh Lamau.
We are heading into the loading screen. Caster's going to take a short break, but we will be back once we hit the rift to cast the action live for you. Appreciate everybody coming out and watching the game. Can't wait to get started. We'll see you back once we hit the rift.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to House Party 5v5 Playoffs, Round 1. Industrious Gaming versus Hands of God. Two of my favorite teams, but I'm going to introduce my friend Deck. Deck Club Ace. Deck. I'm going to call him Deck for the remainder of this game. So pretty hyped game. I'm pretty excited. I don't know about you. I mean, kind of new to the scene, but
I'm very excited. I've only seen probably two or three teams play so far in House 5v5, and IG happens to be one of them, and I'm very excited to see how they do, actually, even with this strange team comp.
yeah, I mean, it is very strange, but I mean, they have two new players, so I think they were kind of going for like the safe picks within each role. You know, having the Janna, Sivir in the bot lane. You know, pretty safe lane. They can maybe get a kill one if like a gank or a successful gank, or maybe even a TP gank comes out. But either way, very safe composition in my opinion. I do. I kind of want to go back to that whole Sivir ultimate with the Maokai Gragas. That's once you really look at it. That's probably one of the strongest engages in the game at the moment. Because if you get the Maokai to be able to go running into the enemy team, even if he doesn't even pick up a Righteous Glory and just runs at them, he's going to be able to probably catch someone important, and it's going to be very beneficial for them.
I'm definitely looking forward to some teleport home guard initiates from the Maokai.
That's my favorite thing about Hecarim is seeing that
Absolutely
pony come running at you from halfway across the map just because he has home guards and catching you out of place. If I get killed by a home guard Hecarim, I just kind of like, I just take it. I'm like, all right, I deserve this.
You can't even be mad.
Yeah, it's one of the few times you can get killed in the game and actually be like, yeah, I'm not even mad about this. This is a very enjoyable death. But coming out, all right. So looking into this actual game, both bot lanes are starting on the bot side. Wasn't really going to expect a lane swap, but I was, it might have came up. Rek'Sai versus Gragas. I think one of the big things is if you look at MSI, this is the two junglers that basically dominated the entire tournament of basically every jungler besides maybe Sejuani, which was played here and there. So excited to see Rek'Sai, Gragas, and House Party 5v5.
I'm really curious about the not necessarily doing the 2v2 bot lane, but it turns out that Gragas didn't actually get a leash because Maokai was busy doing the Raptor camp. So
yeah,
he's already behind in terms of the clear speed.
Yeah, actually, yeah, they're
Is
both level 2. I actually think he actually ended up, he's just about to clear his blue buff, and Google just finished his blue buff, so they're actually both about on the same track. I think if I'm correct, I believe Gragas would start his E, W. Yeah,
started
you
with
start
his
your
W, which lets him clear faster.
Yeah, which clears the Grom super fast, so that's very understandable, and that actually worked out well for him because he's going to be able to come to this bot lane and maybe get a good gank off against. Well, it is an Alistar.
Yeah, it'll be a little hard to get the gank. One other thing though is that although he might have been, I don't know, even behind because of not getting a leash, he's also healthier because of his passive. So yeah, that is an advantage that he does have.
Yeah, and as you can see, Rek'Sai is actually doing the Scuddler crab in the bot lane to kind of. I think he might have thought that Gragas started on the bot side, not the top side, but it looks like he's coming in for the gank here. He's going to get on the splash, gets the knockup.
It's a little dangerous.
Yeah, doesn't have to blow any summers, but Poseidon is coming into this fight, and they just walk away. They knew they weren't going to be able to catch anyone, maybe blow a summoner, but yeah, it's very interesting.
I don't know. I guess Rek'Sai didn't see the Gragas ping because like he started walking into the vision range from the Tremor Sense really early. So I guess he just wanted to try and get something.
Yeah, he probably was looking more at where the Orianna was compared to looking down towards the Gragas, which is understandable, but I don't know. Can you milk those of the Alistar? I don't think you can you?
They're too armored.
Yeah, they are. I mean, look at those spikes. I wouldn't want to milk those at all. Probably stab myself in the hand. But yeah, so
It
this
is Infernal
lane,
Alistar.
yeah, it is infernal. There might be like lava tipped or something, you know. You know what kind of armor nowadays these kids make. But
Surprisingly even, I would kind of expect a little bit more harass towards Sivir early because, I don't know, Janna can't really meet shield as well as Alistar can, but I guess they're
Yeah.
just trying to play the farm game.
I really think this lane's gonna turn into the farm game because you gotta look at it. You have Janna who can just shield, and on top of the spell shield to really stop a good amount of the damage coming from Alistar, like the engage. Because you can either spell shield the headbutt or you can spell shield the pulverize. Most likely you're gonna spell shield the pulverize because you're gonna get headbutted and it might force you. But game coming out from Google in the top lane, Ice Killer is kind of low, but had to flash away. Nars. Wallop, or I think it's a hyper, does a surprising amount of damage against these tanks, and I think that is a quick thing to make a note of within this top lane that at the moment, because Gnar has just been dominating a lot lately, and I would
He's
say
very good
MSI
against-
has played a good amount too.
I mean, yeah, he's definitely very good against the tank meta that we've been seeing. Pretty much the only things that can really stand up to him easily are like mages with similar range as him, but even
Yeah.
then, like once he goes mega, if he gets on top of you, you're dead.
Yeah, that's basically how it runs down, and even if he doesn't, I mean, I've seen mini Nars take out people just because of the wallop damage and being able to continue having that perma slow from your boomerang if you hit 6, because once you hit 6 you get the reduced cooldown from the boomerang. If your boomerang, you know, you actually catch the boomerang stuff back, it is a reduced cooldown. A lot of presence from Google and Poseidon in this mid lane. I think they must have heard us.
It seems to be a lot. Yeah, it seems to be a lot of Google doing his ganks, and then Poseidon responding to the ganks. There's not a lot of like Poseidon trying to do his ganks.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
which I think we should kind of expect before he hits level 6.
Yeah, which is definitely understandable. Coming from Rek'Sai, because you can kind of get your tunnels near the mid lane a little bit more easier than, say, you know, having a tunnel all the way in the bot side is going to be less uncommon compared to, say, having a tunnel leading towards the mid lane in some way, with most of your camps being closer to the mid side. But both mid laners, about it actually completely even in farm, 56 to 56. So I'm, you know, even with both ganks coming out from both junglers, and neither have actually blown either of their summoners. One thing I do want to note is I think Alistar is maxing his triumphant roar, his heal, compared to his pulverizer headbutt in this
You don't
lane.
usually see that because
Yeah.
you're afraid of like the wave building up too large and crashing into the tower too early.
Yeah, and I think that's actually what they're kind of planning on. Ginger and Icy Killer, old duel coming out. Icy's actually doing a good amount of damage towards this Gnar.
I mean, before Google's previous gank, Gnar was really low because Icy keeps going in and then just smashing him into the ground. That's why he had no
Yeah.
mana, because he just keeps winning the trades.
Yeah, I mean, if you're able to dodge that boomerang and hit a good, you know, smash, arcane smash, then you're gonna be able to probably do a good amount of damage onto the Gnar.
Well, one thing to keep in mind about the matchup, though, is that, like, when Maokai Twisted advances, he's untargetable, so he can just dodge it just by going straight at you.
Yeah, which is great. But yeah, this bot lane is very. It's basically turning into a farm game right now, and Mopal is definitely in the lead at the moment. Even at level 6, neither bot lane could really do anything to each other. It's really going to come down to who's going to be able to roam, or if a gank comes out, or anything of that sort. Just for the fact that neither bot lane has kill potential. I mean, the fact that both ADCs have yet to even use their pot kind of shows that they're really doing things. But Google coming in steals the red buff from Poseidon. Ginger can go on Ice Killer, going on Ginger as well. Ginger's able to stun him, throw him under a tower as well. though. Icy Killer is probably going to die to the tower. Nope, just a little bit. And first blood coming from Gnar. Throwing that building at them. That's a deadly building if I've seen one.
Oh, definitely. I'm kind of surprised, actually, that Icy Killer went in so close to Gnar while his rage bar was so high.
Yeah, that was really close.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just misread how much rage he could get at one time.
Yeah,
and wasn't expecting the mega.
Yeah, I think that was definitely. I think he was more under. I think he was expecting that the Gnar was going to stay in his mini Gnar form compared to going to his mega Gnar form for that engage. But Black Cleaver first item for Gnar already at only 10 minutes. That's pretty impressive. That's a fed Gnar if I've seen one.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, and just think that from now on, that Gnar is probably going to go full tank, not a single damage item, and that's really all you need as Gnar. Even with that, I don't like the Black Cleaver. I mean, it's great to have this early, but when it comes to top lane, I think, or top lane Gnar, I feel like Frozen Mallet is a better item choice than, say, the Black Cleaver.
Well, I think it really depends on the situation, especially because they have like the sort of assassin jungler in Rek'Sai who wants to just kind of be in there and do damage. So having the extra armor shred from the early Black Cleaver will help them out in the mid game.
Coming out from Poseidon in the bot lane though, Sala is able to push him away. I think Poseidon flashed there, or someone flashed there. It looked weird, but Icy Killer going back onto Gnar as well. Missed the stun from Ginger. Icy Killer just kind of popping his ult just to be able to get the remainder of that farm. Google coming in as well with the tunnel from behind over the wall.
Just go away. This is my lane.
Yeah, it was a good trade coming out from Icy Killer, even with that.
Oh, but showing himself prompted the dragon.
Yeah, they definitely. I don't think Hands of God was expecting this. The Zigzag coming out, just a good amount of damage. Oh, and that's a dead Janna. Rocket coming through. Google looking to get the knock up, and Lunas is able to pick up that kill. It was a great ultimate coming out from Lunas there.
That was a very good ult combo between Lunas and Wumple.
Yeah, Google being able to respond quickly enough to come down to the spot side, just to be able to pick up that dragon and show presence was very, very smart decision by him. And that was a perfect Zigzalt to stop that dragon. One of the most terrifying things is a jungler is when you have an enemy Ziggs is you never know if the Zigzalt is going to come at you or if it's going to steal the dragon, because there's been so many of a Zigzalt stealing a dragon in a sense. Overall.
And I mean, for something that you're going to use to steal a dragon anyway, it has a relatively short cooldown, and you don't usually use it in lane, so you may as well use it to try and steal.
Yeah, and one thing to note that is that Wumple is actually able to get the rocket snipe off on, I believe that was Poseidon, so that was very, very smart of him to be able to pick up that. So coming into this 13 minutes, one dragon over to Hands of God, as well as a 2k gold lead, already at 12 minutes. A lot of that goes over to, I think, Ginger. I think has a good amount of the gold as well as, say, the Ziggs. But Ginger going a little aggressive on Icy, and actually might be kill him. Flash coming over from Icy. Ooh. This is close. Oh, and the snipe with the pickup as well. Very well done coming out from Ginger to be able to.
He's very on point with those houses.
Yeah.
I haven't really watched him miss a house yet.
Yeah, and those are kind of difficult to hit, because if you hit a minion gets in the way, you're kind of put in a bad spot, just because they stop the house from going any farther. So you really kind of have to aim them correctly around the minion waves. So very well done by him. Sala and Wumple being pretty aggressive in the spot lane, just continue pushing it in.
A lot of the gold lean seems to be on Lunas right now, just because Lunas is pulling ahead of Splash in terms of farm, and also got the kill and the assist on the dragon.
Yeah, it's very impressive. Merc getting pushed into the wall, and as well as that, but Google is fighting Poseidon with the TP coming through as well. Lunas picks up that kill, and Wumple, and they're just fighting in the bot lane. as well. TP coming out from Icy Killer as well. Sala is on the run, but his team... Oh, no, they're actually not coming down. He's just going to pulverize and flash over the wall. That was a pretty smart pulverize, because if Icy Killer is smart enough, he would have waited for the Twisted Advance to chase Sala over the wall. And just like that, he does do that. Might be able to pick this kill off, and I think he will if he gets Arcane Smash, and there it is. Kill going over to Icy Killer. So,
yeah, I think that was just really risky by Sally. I don't really think that he should have bothered to clear the ward that early, especially because he knew it was there. He could have come back for it whenever it was a little safer after he knew they left.
Yeah, it was very risky of him to walk over there. And, I mean, if you saw where Lunos and Google were, they were able to pick off a kill in the mid lane. So I kind of half expected them to walk down to help Salah move up, but he wasn't able to do so, which kind of was unfortunate for them. We're kind of waiting to clear out this tower. Wapple doing a lot of damage, but not
those
enough.
rockets.
Yeah. It's gonna be very interesting coming out in this near future.
I mean, Wumple came back, has got BF sword, pickaxe, lots of crit.
Yeah, and I mean, he does have his Avarice Blade, so he kind of went for that early farm-based item. I believe he actually had that for a while. A lot of damage coming out from Ginger on Icy Killer. Just the Black Cleaver Gnar. A lot of damage.
It's okay. Icy Killer is playing the sustain tree, so he is still fine for now.
Yeah, he's definitely still in a good spot. One thing to note, he is going... He's going that one. I can't remember who builds like this. I think it's Kuro from the Chinese team. Wumple's in some trouble here. Salah picking up a good E, but Barrow coming out. He's actually trying to trade off the Lord Merc, and Lord Merc is the flash stopping the rocket. They actually were able to survive that gank. Poseidon just coming down from the top side, and almost catching them off guard.
That was really interesting. I don't think I've ever seen an Alistar headbutt Gragas while he is in the middle of his belly slam.
Yeah, that was very well done. Like I said, that was it's Kuro and Marin that build the Glacial Shroud on top of the Catalyst, and then I think it's either usually Merc Treads or Ninja Tabi. They kind of like switch between based on the enemy comp, but I think that's one of my favorite Maokai builds, because granted it is a bunch of components for like 3 different items, but it turns out to be very beneficial, because it kind of forces you, okay, what do I really need to build here? Or, alright, I need to go Righteous Glory, so I want to stop building my rod and go for more armor, because I don't need the Righteous Glory at the moment. So smart decision by Icy Killer to go this build.
I mean, Glacial Shroud and Catalyst is definitely a very good combo. If only because, especially as Maokai, they both give you a lot of mana, which you're not too mana intensive, but you don't have any ways of sustaining mana in the same way that you can sustain health. And the huge amount of CDR that he gets from Glacial Shroud, which he's going for the Frozen Heart next.
Yeah.
And that's just going to help him out a lot, especially because of the amount of damage this Twisted Advance can do to the tanky team that they have.
Yeah, that's why it's one of my favorite builds, because, like I said, you can go into the Frozen Heart, you're like, alright, I need to build more armor against this Rek'Sai, Gnar, Jinx team, with this 1 AP damage. Google looking for a pick, but wasn't able to. Poseidon able to just dart over the wall. Dragon's is up now, so Hands of God looking to take control of this, while IG just kind of sitting around from the side. And Ginger
is going ham.
Yeah, keep on throwing those boulders / houses. I like saying houses because of the skin. I mean, it's basically a house, top of a house they're just throwing. And he is on point with
just a chunk of brick house.
Yeah. I don't know where he gets some from. There's no houses on the map. I mean...
They're buried under the rift. He sticks his hand in the ground and rips them out.
Yeah. So, does that mean that Summoner Rift is just a bunch of houses and they just build on top of them?
It's houses all the way down.
All the way down? So that's where the champions live. They live in the houses underneath Summoner's Rift. Alright.
That would make the most sense. I mean, they have nowhere else to live.
Makes sense. Poseidon taking his own blue buff away from Splash. I don't know if that's the smartest decision for the fact that Orianna with blue buff is very strong in this mid-game 20-minute time zone compared to, say, a Gragas with blue buff. But right now, Ziggs and Alistar versus Jinx, Orianna in the mid lane. Everyone's kind of just roaming around this mid lane. They're kind of looking for that, that one mid-game fight.
Just need to get that one fight, push down the turret.
Yeah,
I think Poseidon trying to get the blue buff was probably just because he was afraid that it might get stolen, and Splash was needed to clear mid. And Splash does have a break.
Yeah, he does have I actually forgot the name of that item. There it is, Themes. So he does have a good amount of mana regen at the moment. Ginger looking to get this top tower. At the moment, both bot lane towers are down. Wumpo just picked up just a second ago. But I think you're right. Google and I believe Ginger are both near the top side near the Scuttle Crab, so I think he was a little bit afraid to get that stolen away. But from the looks of it, both teams are turning into a farm-centric time period. Both ADCs were farming the bot lane. At least Lord Merc is now farming the bot lane, whereas Wumpo was just a second ago, but he's coming down the mid lane at the moment. Splash Brew just staying in the mid. Down about 15 CS to Luna Ziggs. Poseidon in a risky spot, able to charge away. He knocked up by Google there, would have been really spooky for him. Alistar coming in with his Moby boots. I really think they're just trying to. Both teams are looking for a pick at the moment.
They're looking for a pick, biding time. There's not really a tower that they can easily push down right now, and there's no objectives that they can reasonably get. Dragon's down. It's really early for Baron, so they're just kind of trying to harass and see if they can get you to go away.
Yeah, that's mostly what it comes down to, especially when you have a Ziggs Jinx. Granted, Jinx is back in the bot lane, but having a Jinx versus, oh wow, that headbutt. That
was a long-range headbutt.
He goes over one wall and knocks him over another. That's very interesting. Icy Killer getting on. Ginger's going on to Icy Killer now. Keeps on hitting those houses.
Mega's about to run out.
Mega is about to run out. This is a wet noodle fight if I've seen one. But the wallop damage coming out a lot against Icy Killer. Even with that Frozen Heart finished up, he still takes a good amount of damage. Granted, because of the wallop being magic damage compared to Icy's in trouble here, but so is Ginger. Ginger actually dies. Wow, that was very well done. By Icy Killer to be able to trade a kill. When you're behind,
I think Ginger forgot. I think Ginger forgot about the Maokai proc.
Yeah, that's one thing everyone forgets about that. Sorry, someone put in chat, have you seen a wet noodle fight? They can be quite violent. I don't know if I've ever seen a wet noodle fight be violent, but okay. But I think no one really understands the end of Poseidon get caught out in his own jungle. Solid able to get the headbutt pulverize off. Splash hitting his ult only on Sala. Sally, don't die, please. You can make it out alive. His team is
home card Maokai teleport
going on, but yeah, the Maokai teleport coming in, be able to fend off the entire team of Hands of God. And I think IG returning this right here. Google almost dead and dies right there. Ginger turning into Meganar, throws his whole enemy team into Wumpo. Wumpo's able to just keep on hitting procs, but he's getting low just from Icy Killer. He needs to get out of that quick. Splashes. I mean, Lord Merc is full HP. Same for Splash. This is a very risky fight right here. Poseidon really low, taking the rocket for his team. Luna's. Oof, there it is. There's the big big bomb coming out.
Even with that last kill, though, if Splash can get out, she might.
Oh, that was.
Really IG still traded ahead.
Close. Yeah, they were able to
by one kill, but one kill is enough.
Yeah, definitely is enough to come out ahead. And I believe the one thing though is that Hands of God were able to get that mid tower before that whole fight kind of started breaking out. And unfortunately, Sally did not get out alive. Unfortunately, I always wanted them to get out alive, but Google a little aggressive in the bot side. We gotta give a lot of credit to Google playing this aggressive play style within the jungle.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
It's exciting.
It's always scary when you see Rek'Sai just walk into your jungle because you know it's either A, his entire team is behind him, or B, he's by himself, but you're still gonna be scared because it's a Rek'Sai. And the fact that he went Warrior Enchantment over the Cinderhulk shows like he has a lot of damage. But third dragon going over to Hands of God, and I want to warn you now, deck. When the third dragon comes out, and if you get the third dragon, you officially have won in my book because it's my favorite and I think the best dragon in the game.
The movement speed boost.
Yeah, it's great. Movement speed's underrated.
I have to agree. I love the movement speed buff.
Yeah, it's a very underrated stat. I think a good amount of mid laners prefer movement speed, aka like Cassiopeia, because that way they're able to really catch out people a little bit quicker and chase out. I mean, you hit the Noxious Blast on, like, say, Cassiopeia, and on top of having, like, say, Luden's Echo with the movement speed, you end up being able to chase really well. And a lot of people actually understand how strong movement speed is, so it's very enjoyable to see movement speed, especially on a team like especially when you're on a team against a Sivir, having that increased movement speed is very beneficial as well.
Oh yeah, and I'm curious to see if we're gonna see Sally building, you know, a Righteous Glory or a Talisman or some sort of initiation as well, besides Headbutt.
Yeah,
because they don't have anything yet.
Yeah, one thing to note is that Icy Killer does have his Righteous Glory now, so he does have his 2 quarter items, and right now I think it's going to come down to them getting engaged. But right here, looks like he wants to go over. Google actually goes over, gets a knock up beside an Icy Killer, but looks like they're just going to walk away. Team was not ready for that. Luna's actually got a lot of poke down from Sivir in the back line. Uh-oh. Knock out the thing, getting that pulverized headbutt onto. Wow, the rocket
that
picking
burst.
all Berg. Icy Killer is going to get down as well, and Ginger is able to throw Poseidon back into his team and knock him and stun him and just throw him all over the place. Wumple actually taking a lot of damage from Splash Poo. Google, pretty low HP, but regenning it because, you know, he's underground. You know, he's going through each other's, you know, since we say that the underneath Summoner's Rift is someone else's house, he's just siphoning through them, eating the food out of their fridge.
Some of the strongest tower pushes in the game between Ziggs and Jinx, these towers stand no chance.
Yeah, it's a very, I mean, free towers when you have a Jinx on your team that has no threat of, say, someone actually engaging on a Jinx. You're able to just take out any tower for free. But it looks like they're just going to back off, go for, pick up their items, pick up this bot farm, pick up this top farm. Google stealing the blue buff, then taking his own red buff away from his ADC, or just taking it either way.
Hans just has really good map presence. They got the catch. They got a really good team fight. They pushed down mid, and then they got to get their side lanes before the side lanes even crashed into the tower. They'll lose a tower for it, but in the end, they still come out way ahead.
Yeah, I think one thing to note is that I do agree with being able to get those 2 side lanes pushing, but before that, even then, if you looked at the map right before they both, you say Gnar and Jinx went to the bottom top side, IG were able to get 2 really big waves happening. So I think they were trying to set up for a winning fight so they could push down mid tower and get maybe two extra towers because of the waves, but they weren't able to. Sally in trouble. Please slay Sally. And it looks like Ice Killer's trying to chase, pops the Righteous Glory, goes in, able to catch up Salah, and the Ziggs ult coming out. Lord Merc able to spell shield it. Maokai getting picked off. Janna ult coming out, maybe saves him, but not. 4-man Orianna coming up from Splash Brew, but does not matter. Ginger missing his ult on Lord Merc, but I think he's able to just chase him down. Keep on throwing those houses on top of him. Misses one. Oh man, that's the first one I've seen missed in a long time.
Think we'll see a Baron?
Yeah, I think this is going to turn into a Baron.
Well, they struck it, but they did not clear the bush.
Yeah, I think they realize that you just go straight for it. Google wanting to get Scuttle, but bad idea. This Baron is definitely going down. That is a free Baron going over to Hands of God. No one can really contest it. Big bot wave in the bot side. I think that's probably going to go over the Jinx before it hits the tower, which is really beneficial for him. Right now, item-wise, Wumple is ahead by a whole Last Whisper. I actually think Lord Merc has the gold. No, he does not. He only has 200, so he's still off by a good amount before he finishes his Last Whisper. But he did decide to go for the Phantom Dancer compared to the Static Shiv, of which Pi used to go for, or went for.
I think he realized that he didn't really need the wave clear so much from the Static Shiv, and the extra poke wouldn't have been as useful. So instead, he wanted to get the extra stats from the Phantom Dancer.
Yeah,
so,
which is a very
smart
decision. Yeah,
they have a lot of magic
smart
damage.
decision. And having that increased movement speed, of course, from having the Phantom Dancer is always great. And ignore unit collision is definitely a strong stat as well. But another free tower going over to Hands of God. The Jinx damage towers is just too much. It looks like they're going to try to go for this bot inhib, but the wave clear, as you said, is pretty strong for an Orianna.
They do have a mid wave coming in though.
Yeah. Looks like they just want, I think they just want to hit this tower, but it's pretty risky with the Gragas and Maokai. Gragas actually taking a lot of damage here. He needs to be very careful moving up like that. The lone cannon hitting the tower. Dragon is up. This is the fourth dragon, but neither. It looked like Hands of God were going to go for it, but not anymore.
I think they want to go for it, but at the same time, they don't want to waste their Baron trying to get a dragon when they can get it anyway.
That's not very beneficial for them, but they really need to be careful here. Lord Merc taking a lot of damage. Oh, and the snipe coming up from Wumple. Icy Killer has this all going, but they weren't able to get them in the channel ult. Gragas Barrel, knock him away, splash through. Maybe needs to get a good ultimate here, but does not. The ult coming out as well. That's a dead team if I've seen one. Inhibitor goes down.
Next wave is coming in soon. Think they might go get top tower?
They might. Actually, they're going for the Baron. Or not Baron, Dragon, my bad. Fourth Dragon. 4 teams Hand of God, but actually go for this bot wave. They still have the Baron buff, so they're like, you know what, we're going to give this another tower, maybe another inhibit if they're able to. That's a lot of damage coming out from Wumple on the Jinx. Able to get 2 inhibs. That's that.
Never underestimate the Daka Daka.
Yeah. And if you look at the top side, that tower actually might die to minions here. It's getting pretty low. It's sitting around 700 HP. Wumple taking the red buff for himself. Getting the dragon as well. Just, pulling the good old Caitlyn, where, stay on the other side of the dragon or Baron and hitting it from cross over it.
With the huge rocket crits.
Yeah. The rocket crit thing's so just, I never understood that, I never understood that whole, where they added crit to like a rocket that can hit like 3 different targets. Just so confusing to me.
It's even more fun whenever you throw in the Runon's Hurricane.
Yeah, and then you have that, and it's like, what's the point? You want to crit on every single you want to crit on all 5 people of the enemy team? I mean, come on.
Well, I mean, why not?
I mean, it would be pretty interesting if you get a 1 crit and kills like 3 people just because they're all standing near each other. So
Scumbag Lunas steals the Raptors from Google with a bomb.
Yeah. That mid laner deserves this farm. He's been a big part of this big part of this game, being able to scare off IG from that one dragon. He's been getting some very, very good ults off. Google going in just to hit the tower. Like I said,
he's been getting good
really
ults. Low. He's been, he's got really good kill participation. He's got the best farm. He's just doing good overall.
I'm very excited to see the damage done to champions after the end of this game. I feel like Ginger's going to be up there just because of the early game pressure he had, but I feel like Lunas is probably going to have the highest just because of his bomb damage he's had all game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh wow, Salah's kind of in a bad spot here, but Splash getting bursted by that bomb. Salah just kind of going. Google goes in, but decides not to. Icy Killer taking a lot of damage just from these rockets on top of the Gnar damage as well.
He hasn't really gotten to invest very much into MR yet. I mean, all he has is a Spectre's Cowl.
Yeah, and having your Ninja Tabby over the Merc Treads. Yeah, like I said, you really don't have any MR. Oh wow, the flash coming out from both Lunas and Wumple to dodge that ultimate coming from Oriana, but Science in the back spot. Lord Merc kind of getting flashed, flashes away. The Zig's ult coming out as well. Google able to get the fight off, maybe. Nope, they're just gonna go for the towers. That was a lot of damage coming out from Lunas there.
That was a huge burst of damage. Goodbye, Merc.
Yep. Goodbye, IG. Game 1 done. On to game 2. Very impressive play from Hands of God from a team that was 0-8 the entire season. Did not win a single game. Being able to rebuild their roster. Ended up picking some good players. I'm pretty impressed. Like I said before, I feel like this, even though they have a good roster, I still feel like they're one of the few teams that has a chance to lose to almost anyone just because of how tilty and reliant they are on, say, their mid laner and their bot lane getting ahead.
I mean, as long as they can get their mid laner in a position where he can get ahead, then it should be fine. But like you saw a lot of focus from Google in mid lane early game. Like there was at least 3 ganks, and it forced Poseidon to have to come and respond.
Yeah. Alright, so I want to make a quick note that Ziggs did do 37,000 damage compared to Gnar, who did 19,000, and Jinx, who did 18,000. So I was right. Ziggs did do the most damage to champions that entire game.
So what you're telling me is that Ziggs did as much damage as both Jinx and Gnar put together.
Yes. Yes. Well, a little bit less, but still, he did almost as much damage as, say, both of those put together.
Close enough. We'll give him the medal.
Yeah, we'll give him the golden star. We'll put it on the wall so all the other kindergartens can see.
And I think it is a much-deserved star, and I think he'll love it.
Yeah, definitely well-deserved. We'll go and give the entire team of Hands of God a gold star, but I feel like Lunas does deserve an extra one to show that he's ahead of his team. And because we all love all of our players, we'll give IG a gold star as well, because, you know, can't not give them a gold star. They put up a good fight in that game.
I will say though that, like, despite IG being behind, Splash did really well. Splash didn't die despite being the focus of a lot of the early ganks.
Yeah, which is very impressive for a mid laner. And he did hit. There is one ultimate. I feel like if both Wumple and Lunas did not have a flash at all, he probably would have been able. That would have been a winning team fight for IG. But the fact that Lunas and Wumple were able to just flash the perfect timing and get away from that ult really showed that, you know, they had the reaction time to respond to something like that, and that really was the big factor of that entire fight. And granted, they were behind, but still, it was a very impressive play by Splash in this game. Playing a champion that he does like to play, but I was expecting his Amumu mid, so I don't know if you saw that game. You know, right?
I did not. I will look forward to it if it comes out.
Oh man, I just seen anything mid from Splash. If you see a Zillion, I mean, you saw it. Zillion was banned.
I saw the
game.
Zillion ban.
One of my favorite bans against him. All right, we're gonna take a quick break while we get ready for the game 2, and then from there, we're gonna give it over to Anson so he could set it all up.
It was a fantastic game. I think Hands of God really came through and showed what they were capable of. Ginger woke up on the right side of the bed this morning, apparently. So he's playing full force, sort of like Gnar, Mini versus Mega. I think he's in Mega mode today. We'll see if he can stay in it. Hands of God versus IG up next. Stick around. Casters will be back shortly. And we are back, folks. House Party 5v5 Saturday League. We're on to Game 2 in the series. This is Stage 1 of the quarterfinals. Hands of God claiming Game 1 against Industrious Gaming. They will be on the blue side. I am your host, Anson. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate everyone who shows up every week to watch these games. We're glad to have you, and we're happy to see this series being played out tonight. Joining me on the caster's desk is my good friend Dave.
What's going on?
And also Deck.
Hey guys.
We've got Deck on deck.
Correct.
Alright, I'm gonna leave now.
Things are getting a little Dr. Seuss up in here.
Yeah, no, not. Okay, so. Alright, looking at the bans, same exact bans as last game, I believe. IG taking a little bit longer in the last ban. I think they're gonna probably play, I'm unsure what they're gonna play this game. They might end up pulling out the fiddlestick spin. You never know.
I think they're going to change things up this game. I would be very surprised to see the same or even a similar composition. Hands of God, on the other hand, I feel like there you go. Yeah, they're going to be sticking to what worked in the first game, not just because it worked so handily for them, but also they've got a long series ahead of them. All of our competitors that are starting off in Stage 1 of the quarterfinals have a big long road ahead of them, and especially if they've got strategies that they're holding in reserve, might not be a good idea to play those cards at this point in time if you know your team's a lock to win. So definitely, I think Hands of God in a great position. See them field basically the same strategy, use it to take out IG, they hope, this game, and move on to the next stage of the quarterfinals with, or move on to the semifinals with a little bit more cards not revealed, so to speak.
Yeah. I want to make a quick note that that Sally, it does not like how he pronounced his name, Sally. He wants to be called Salah, so please. So we're gonna start pronouncing it correctly, Sally. I mean Salah. I mean Sally. I love Salah. He's one of my favorite support players. In a league where we really don't have that many, I don't want to say we don't have any good support players, but we have a very limited pool of good support players. I feel like with the addition to Salah, it really increased it, and very beneficial for the league as well. And just overall, I really think he's a great player. Really showed some promise back in the T-Lol days, and good thing that he was able to be picked up by a House Party 5v5 team. But if Hands of God are able to get the reverse sweeped on, he definitely is going to go back into free agent pool, and it's going to be pretty hard for him.
So Google opting to take the Jungle Gragas away from IG. They might not have chosen to gone with that this time around, but I think it's interesting that he decided to pick that up. It's kind of taking a weapon away from IG's arsenal as well. I'm not sure how Google plays on that champion specifically, but it could end up working out pretty well for him. Salah looked like he's going to he's hovering over the Thresh. He wants to Thresh. I would love to see it.
Yeah.
Well, IG did.
I would like to see it Thresh.
IG did take the Alistar and the Ziggs away from them, so
yeah,
they changed up a little bit.
They were able to take two of the really good, or at least one of the really good champions from the game 1 of Hands of God, and then add on the Maokai, which I really think Icy Killer did really good last game. Besides when he got solo killed by Ginger in the early game, I feel like he made a small little mistake, but I still feel I still feel like that
he recovered from it very well.
Yeah, he was able to make some really good plays in the later game. It was really beneficial for him. But looking at blue team, Wumple on the Jinx, but with a Thresh this time compared to the Alistar, so a little bit more aggressive bot lane. Very, very. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. But the Caitlyn getting picked up for Splash or Lord Merc. I was really hoping he would play his Vayne.
His Graves. Why not play your stellar, your star champion
I mean, well, no, his.
I mean, I
his
guess you go
Zane's
for
better.
team composition.
Yeah.
I don't know, even with team comp, I think Graves would have been fine with their team comp.
The one thing with Graves though is that Graves really has, in a game where it's all about sustained damage, Graves doesn't have that. He is burst, and I feel like Caitlyn is one of the few. I don't want to say she has sustained damage. She does have a good amount of burst, but I feel like she's one of the few underrated ADCs at the moment. She has a lot. Her range is really strong. On top of being able to take towers like Jinx, it's a very good ADC. It's just really hard to. It's really, I don't know. I'm very on the line when it comes to ADCs. But like you have Urgot, Kliss. Those are obviously the two best ADCs at the moment, and Kliss is not being picked up. And then you have Jinx in the back line as well, or in the top 3 as well. But I feel like Caitlyn's one of the few ADCs that just hasn't really been able to penetrate the top tier list at all really.
Yeah, I think
the last few weeks.
Caitlyn's always been a strong champion, just inherently because of her kit, because of her range. She's one of those champions that has been a solid second tier type of champion that pretty much throughout her entire release, and several times has been number 1 on top. So I don't think Caitlyn really ever is going to fade out of being competitively viable without some really radical changes to her, which I don't really see Riot making. But Caitlyn can do a lot of work. We've seen Caitlyn mains even come into the tournament and just do some nasty things. So it's definitely a champion that has a lot of capability.
Yeah, definitely things to note about her. But one underrated champion that I feel like is not really being able to touch the light of day in House Party 5v5 is definitely the Cassiopeia pick.
We haven't talked about that at all. That's been the elephant in the room.
Yeah, it's like right now easily the best mid laner next to Azir. Counters, Vladimir. There's another mid laner that Cassiopeia really is a good hard counter to. It's just one of those champions that just does so well against a lot of mid laners, and it's just really hard to judge against a Ziggs. I'm not really unsure who's gonna win this, but either way, I love the Cassio pickup, especially against a team with heavy engage, because you're able to just be like, all right, we're gonna engage on, turn out, ult, walk away, and it's very strong.
Well, I think in terms of laning, I'd give it more to Cass over Ziggs, if only because Cass, since her changes, she has some sustain now. So, as long as she gets a little bit of mana regen, she can just stay in lane until, she has to go back to buy, or until she wants to go team fight somewhere.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. Alright, well, Casso's going to take a quick break while we get into game, and we'll be right back. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 2, House Party 5v5. Game 2 of Game 1. I don't know how I was supposed to say this. Yeah, Game 2 of Round 1 of IG versus Hands of God. Very excited to see how this game works out here. Both comps very strong.
I'm very excited to see the new Caitlyn matchup.
Yeah.
New Caitlyn combo, rather.
Yeah, that is definitely something we kind of overlooked in the pick bands. I definitely think it's very strong when you look at when you look at like team fights. Putting a Nunu Blood Boil on a Caitlyn is very strong. Granted, I think Blood Boil is stronger on, say, a Jinx, but either way, going to be interesting to see how that works out in the team fights.
Already some harass being thrown around. A little bit of BM.
Yeah, just randomly throwing bombs after bombs. Quick note, Salah is in the mid lane, sitting in the bush, looking to pull the young Lust Boy of ganking mid lanes, but he decides to walk away. So, never mind. I was wrong.
It was almost awesome.
It was almost gonna work, but looks like he, did not.
I think it was mostly that they didn't want to wait too long.
Yeah, I think that was kind of it. And Splash Brew, I think if you look at last game, he did play more on that left-ended side. So being able to get gank level 1 as a Thresh would have been pretty difficult. Noxious Blast hit on Splash. I'm very excited to see his bot lane because a Thresh versus a Alistar is very interesting to see. Salah is unable to hit either of his things, autos, or Relic Shield. My bad. I'm just all over the place right now.
Salah taking a lot of harass from Caitlyn here. Been hit by at least 2 Piltover Peacemakers.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage coming out from Lord Merc. Salah going a little aggressive. Ooh, and the Pulverize coming out.
Almost too aggressive.
Yeah, he's pretty far up. I think they were hoping they would hit the level 2 quicker. Misses the hook. Wasn't able to get it. Yeah. It was a little close. Walpole just trying to get his rocket pass, or rocket trade off correctly. Salah, a little trouble to get the headbutt pulverize combo, as well as the Piltover Peacemaker. Really low. He is playing the dangerous game of staying in lane right here. Especially with
still got plenty of pots.
Ward being there too. Yeah, he does have a good amount of pots. He did decide to go for the 3 biscuits compared to, say, the 3 biscuits. 4 biscuits. He went for the 4 biscuits compared to the 3 biscuits. 1 mana pot.
I think that's probably going to be one of the only things that'll keep him in lane.
Yeah.
Well, he's only used 2 so far.
Hook coming out. Misses again. Alright, so back looking at this top lane, same exact matchup as before. Icy Killer getting a good amount of damage on Ginger, but Ginger just jumps over your head and walks away. It's like that little
Icy's out of
annoying...
mana.
Yeah, Ice is out of mana. Ginger on Gnar with that skin, every time I see that skin, I always think of that annoying little like 3-year-old cousin you have that just wants to just continue playing and stuff, and you're like, leave me alone,
Meanwhile, Maokai is the old man dressed up as a Christmas tree.
Yeah, he's that Santa Claus. He's that one crazy uncle you have that dresses up as Santa Claus, or that one aunt that dresses up as Santa Claus. I have a weird family, so let's not go there. But Ginger getting a lot of damage off. I think if he got that 3rd proc off, I think he was going to go on that, but wasn't able to get the 3rd proc off. Farming the bot lane, even, straight up even. Granted, Wumple has a bigger wave in front of him, so he's actually going to get ahead of, say, Lord Merc. Another pulverize comma coming out from Pocket Knife. Luna's able to get a lot of damage on Splash Brew in this mid lane, but they're both, or at least it looked like for a little bit. I think he must have, no, he did not back. Oh, that was weird. So yeah, looking at his top lane, Gragas is here, so I think I think Google Ginger is trying to force him to make a play. Google is staying in the top side for top red side jungle as well.
But he didn't ward. Poseidon could get out there without being seen.
And that is the power of Nunu. You try to invade his jungle, he's just going to consume it away from you, and you can't do anything about it. It's going a little aggressive here. Nunu does have red smite and was able to get it off on Google. Icy, Poseidon's in some major trouble right here. He needs to either flash away, and he's able to flash away. Icy has no mana. He needs to just get out of there. Yeah. Luckily, he was able to walk away. I think if Icy Killer was able to have more mana, he might have been able to out-trade them there, but wasn't able to do much except for smash them away and help Poseidon get out of that. Flash is down for the Nunu.
Unfortunately, it looks like Google actually did manage to get the
coming out for Lord Merc
as well.
And Pakne able to throw Wumple back. Sala actually taking a lot of damage as well. Good even trade coming out from both bot lanes.
Very nice use of the Thresh Shield, actually.
Yeah.
They both individually ate auto attacks and Peacemakers without taking very much damage.
Yeah. Very good play by both bot lanes of stopping a lot of damage. Hook coming out, just the tip did not hit. Icy Killer staying in his lane a little bit long. He needs a back to be able to get back his mana pool so he can maybe try and out-trade Ginger.
I think he was staying just long enough to be able to have his teleport back up and to be able, to get his catalyst on his first buy and still be able to buy a pot.
Yeah, Google in the mid lane, trying to gank. Poseidon there, throws a snowball, walks away.
How to play Nunu.
Yeah. I mean, that's really all it is. Oh, you're walking towards my mid lane, let me snowball you and walk towards you and start pounding at you with my fist. It's basically how
Nunu's
it is,
ganking contribution all game. Throw a snowball, blood boil somebody, walk up and punch you.
It's basically his entire kit, right? I mean, besides the occasional walk up and consume that one minion when he's about to die, and then he gets like half his HP back, and you're like, well, how'd that happen? And then you know, well, that he is able to consume, and you didn't stop him.
Well, the minion was delicious.
Yeah. So, yep. Alright. Bot lane coming
Very
in
slow early game. Not nearly as much ganking as last game.
There's a lot more ganks coming up from Google. Pocktknife getting the pulverize combo off. Pocktknife is in a lot of trouble. Oh, Ginger gets his TP stopped by Icy Killer through twisted advance. Icy Killer popping his ult. Looks like they're gonna fight in this top side. Throws the house, throws him against the wall. Can you get one more stun and one more boulder? I think Icy Killer's dead here. And that is first blood going over to Ginger once again. As Anson said it, he definitely came and showed that he was in his Mega Gnar form today.
Yeah,
Google invading here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's a... I might be dead Poseidon.
Not quite.
That was a little unnecessary flash there.
I think, so I think Icy made the right play to interrupt. I mean, obviously, you know, he stopped bot lane from getting a kill. But then he stuck around and kept trying to fight him for some reason, and it wasn't even that, like, Mega Gnar was holding him down. It's just that I think he thought that he would do more damage when he
That's
didn't.
definitely something to note there. Just for the fact that, yeah, I definitely think that is very worthy of a notion. I mean, the thing is if Ginger was able to come bot lane, he almost had his Mega Gnar, and I feel like that would have been a dead. At least, I think Pocktknife at least would have been a dead.
Oh, definitely.
There, but, oh, that's a great. Oh, they're all pretty low there. Google coming in for the gank, getting the slow Pocktknife, but that ultimate just not taking any damage. Ultimate coming away from Gragas. That's a dead Alistar. It looks like you can milk those. Merc flashing the rocket as well.
It's a nice flash from Merc. Kind of unfortunate that he ran out of mana, so he couldn't do any cool plays.
Luna's doing a lot of damage on the splash. Wow, the damage coming out from Twin Fangs as well. Ultimate coming out as well. Poseidon. See, he just throws a snowball, and then he comes up and just pounds his fist and be like, look at me, I'm Nunu.
See? You know. Standard Nunu contribution to ganks.
Yeah.
Throws a snowball, walks up and punches.
Yeah, that's all. If that's all it takes to play Nunu, I don't know why he's not played anymore.
He actually has, I believe, currently he has the highest win rate of all junglers.
Yeah, he's a really underrated jungler. I mean, everyone's always like, "Oh, Nunu's broken," and then like no one plays them. I'm like, why? It's so.
Well, I think it's because he's like a lot of people find him boring.
I love Nunu. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, like I
granted,
played
I have
Nunu
the best
in
skin in
ranked,
the game, but
so
I mean, yeah. But I mean, if you have Nunu
I can't
bot,
say anything.
if you have Nunu bot though, like Nunu's so much fun to play because you like invade their jungle, take their stuff, and stand there, and like when you gank, you just throw a snowball and you walk up and hit them, and you just keep on spamming laugh. I mean that's how I played Nunu. It's so much fun. Yeah, and Nunu has the second highest, by the way, after Fiddlesticks. So
Fiddlesticks went up.
Yeah, apparently
Wow, I'm
Fiddlesticks
happy
went
for
up.
him.
My inside sources has messaged me.
Oh, Ginger.
Ginger.
Oh, Ginger.
Jumping away at the wrong spot. Icy Killer trying to get on top of him, but the increased movement speed from Wallop, or Hyper, just a little bit too much for Icy to be able to catch up. Sala moving up a little. It looks like every time he walks up, it looks like he's trying to look for the hook, but not really able to hit. Luna's clearing a board, but you know, Poseidon's like, no, you're gonna take the snowball to the face for doing that, and he took the snowball to his face.
Wumple taking a lot of free damage.
Oh, Splash are getting ulted towards each other. That is a dead Ziggs. That's the twin fake. Like as soon as you poison someone in Cassiopeia, the twin fang damage on top of the free like spell vamp you get from it is just it's pretty crazy how much just healing you get from it. It's pretty
And it
impressive.
will only get worse.
Yeah. More stacks you get, the more damage you do. It's kind of broken. And yet we don't see it that much in House Party. Pretty unfortunate, but
Well, I think it's a lot of like, it's very difficult to play her safely.
yeah, I do agree with that. I mean, no escape mid laner. I mean, that's kind of a thing among mid laners. You know, not every mid laner has escape, but I feel like with the Zed nerfs, on top of just assassins not being in the meta, I feel like these like mid laners that don't have escape are gonna just keep on becoming more prominent within, say, competitive League of Legends. Because I mean, with Cassiopeia becoming a big thing, Azir, granted Azir has more mobility than say Cassiopeia, is still pretty impressive. Sala just playing this aggressive stance, very strong about him. Pocket Knife getting the flash pulverize, trying to knock him away, but was not able to. Wumple able to flash out. TB coming from Icy Killer as well. Wumple is just such a bad spot. Hits the lantern. Sala dropping the box as well. Ginger TPing as well. Oh man, what a great play from Wumple getting out of that fight. Hook coming out on the Icy Killer. Ginger able to get the damage as well, and that's a rocket coming in to take out Icy Killer. Good attempt from IG, but just not enough to take him out. Great play coming out from Sala, being able to hit the box and force. I mean, he had a great lantern. Like that was just impressive. That's very impressive Thresh play right there. Luna's just doing a lot of damage right now to Splash. See, as soon as you get that one poison off, you know, you hit that noxious splash, you get that increased movement speed, and you just keep on walking up and up, and you know, so much. Wow, the house does so much damage.
Yeah, I mean, in that team fight, like, just to not belabor the point of Sala being really crazy good, but not only was that a fantastic box with a lantern, he also interrupted Icy Kill trying to get in close with Flay while doing all of that.
Yeah, just, I mean, very strong.
Long enough
play.
for Ginger to be able to get there. So, IG going for a dragon though.
Well, hands of God.
Or sorry, hands.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's a
Color's still
dragon
mixed
over.
up from last game.
You see, the thing is it's 15 minutes in the game, and that's the first dragon going over to hands of God too against a Nunu. So Poseidon's kind of.
I say because I'm kind of surprised that Poseidon didn't try and go for it earlier, especially with how much threat Google's been trying to put, you know, inside his own jungle.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive that, or I mean, not really impressive, but it's really not impressive at all that Poseidon was able to just give up that dragon. But either way, Luna's getting poked out by Splash here. Google coming into the bot lane as well. Poseidon already in the lane. Blood boils Caitlyn and walks back into his jungle. That's a great Nunu.
Excellent Nunu lane presence.
Yeah, it's best lane presence of the game. Yeah, 8 out of 8. I rate
this bait 8 out of 8, mate.
Yeah, that's exactly how I see it. The Splash kind of the spooky zone of getting barreled. Google going in here. Looks like it gets damage off. Gets a poison off as well. Luna's... Oh, wow. Google able to take off that kill. Ginger in the bot lane as well. Hook going out, but able to get pocket knife this all out so he doesn't take any damage as well. Lormerk has to flash away from the hook. Oh, wow. Great game coming out from Into God. Ginger really making the plays. Really showing up today, too.
Yeah, I mean,
impressed.
that was really good. I was not actually honestly expecting that this early anyway.
Yeah,
it's very impressive though.
Notice it either. All I know
Yeah, I
is
didn't even
Nar.
notice that he was
Like, why
there.
is Nar here?
Like, I just thought that he
one of those
teleported
things.
in, but then I looked and saw that his teleport was still down.
Yeah, very so impressive call from whoever called that. Hey, if you come bot, we'll kill him. And I mean, granted they weren't able to, but close enough, you know.
They didn't get a kill, but they did get the Alistar ult. They got a flash.
So almost there.
I mean, it may as well be a kill.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you the gold, but it does give you the pressure that you need to continue.
Yep.
This will be an easy
let's see.
tower, probably.
Yeah, Pocknet going in as well.
Oh,
Ranger
maybe
coming
not.
out. No. Icy Killer in the bot lane now. Nar's at the top side too, and he does not have TP, so they need to be very careful here.
Oh yeah, Icy Killer's TP is going to be up soon, and Nar doesn't have any towers to kill that he can get to quickly.
It's just I'm just waiting for the tower to go down and the aggressive play coming out from either Sala or Pocket Knife.
The slow roll.
And it's basically him at the moment. Baron up in 2 minutes. Gotta look out for that. Google saw Poseidon in the mid lane. Oh, all
Forcing a
coming out.
flash.
The flash coming out as well. So.
All right. I'm not sure. There's a gold lead, but I do actually think that if IG starts grouping up or something or another to at least do something, maybe they can actually get something. But they're keeping to their laning despite losing all their towers.
Yeah, and Sala pulling out the flash hook. Almost had it, but Pocket Knife was able to react fast enough to flash away from there. Icy Killer in his bot lane. 4-man bot. Luna's going back to the mid lane to push it out. Ginger again with the Black Cleaver start. Poseidon in a really bad spot. He needs to be super careful. Gets stunned up, then hooked, and that's a dead Thresh. Icy Killer coming in on Sala. The box is stopping him from doing anything. All coming on to Ginger. Luna's Splash here with the Ziggs, and Ginger's throwing Icy Killer into the wall, and the Twisted Fence saving him. Ginger's thrown back into the tower. He's able to actually get out of this, and he does not. Sala really low as well. Luna's showing up as well. They need to be very careful. That's a Luden's Echo if I've seen one. That is a 1-for-1 Poseidon for Ginger, and
I almost think that Ginger went a little bit too ham there.
Yeah.
But they did, like, you could see their team comp. They have so much CC. Like, they caught Poseidon at the junction near the blue buff, and then they just walked him all the way to their wall.
Yeah, it was very impressive play by them. Ginger, like you said, Ginger did go a little bit too aggressive. Pocket Knife was able to throw him underneath the inhib tower, but that's that. Luna's hitting his 200, I believe, power spike. I think that was 200, maybe even 300. It's always enjoyable when you play when you're playing Cassiopeia and you get that giant green thing around and you're like, oh, I upgraded. It's like evolving a Pokemon, It's really impressive to watch and have it happen.
It's also very entertaining, simply because, like, the amount of power that she gets by just gaining these stacks is pretty ridiculous. Like, 25% CDR, gaining a bunch of damage. It's pretty crazy.
And especially when you have a Luden's Echo, the burst damage is insane. Seraph's is not really built up that quickly. I feel like he hasn't spammed Twin Fangs enough, but contesting the blue buff away from Splash, but able to get it here. Ginger TPing, they need to be super careful here. And the Gragasol coming out as well. Icy Killer ults comes in and gets a 3-man knockout for Pulverize. Zigzalt going out as well. Poseidon in the back line, but he needs to be super careful, and he's going to get taken off by Jinx. Jinx walking up a little bit too close, but Google's able to stop them, become the front line where he needs to be. Pocket Knife going in and ulting as well. Salah playing him back. Hook coming out as well. And ult coming out, but did not stun a single person. They need to be super careful here. They're all so low. Almost there. And Luna's going in and flashing to get the second E, and that is a triple kill going over to Luna's. And the last surviving member is the support for Hands of God.
That was a chaotic team fight.
It was all over the place.
To say the least. Like, we have the teleporting Maokai coming in with, you know, Home Guards and Righteous Glory just diving onto the lines, followed immediately by Ginger, who is just furied enough to be able to rage, and then dives for their backline. Poseidon's on Hand's backline. There's backlines everywhere.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Google got caught out and actually was able to get blown up pretty quickly as well. And I mean, Icy Killer tried to go in, but isn't taking just quite yet enough to be able to tank for the members of Hands of God. It's yeah, it's
he
very
managed
impressive.
to hold it for quite a while, though.
Yeah, he was able to stay there for a good amount of time. He did pick up his Righteous Glory first item compared to the Frozen Heart, so he does have more health stats compared to, say, like armor or MR. But he does have his Ninja Tabi as well.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about whether or not he should have the Ninja Tabi, because I honestly think that Merc Treads would be better for him in this situation. Like, Hans just has so much CC between the Cass ult, Nar's various stuns and knockups and such, Jinx snares, Thresh. He needs some kind of tenacity.
Yeah, he does definitely need the tenacity boots compared to the Ninja Tabi. Granted, Ginger and Wumple are putting out a good majority of the damage, but really nothing more than that.
Well, I mean, Ginger puts out mixed damage.
Yeah, he does. With the
like the majority of the damage to Icy is from his hyper, which is magic damage.
Yeah, hyper.
But yeah,
it's like the same ability. But yeah, I understand.
Yeah, like Wumple is doing a lot of damage, and I can see the armor coming in for that. That's what the Frozen Heart's going to be for, and he's going to build that anyway. So, in the very least, he should have some kind of MR right now, because he took a lot of damage from Cass.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
Cass AP is just, once you hit that one poison, you just sit there and just, like, it's like playing Evelyn. You just keep on pressing E and hope you kill them, right? Even when you're killing camps, you just keep on pressing E and you're like, alright, I'll get them sooner or later.
Like, Cassiopeia is sitting on 400 AP right now, and
but
that's
going out right here.
before.
Google, little far. Ult splashes away. Box coming out as well. Icy Killer kind of getting hooked, but not thrown in there. Google taking the brunt of the damage from Caitlyn ults, and both teams walk away. I don't think Google wanted to fight that.
That was an interesting exchange.
Yeah, it was very. I think Google was just kind of in the wrong place, and IG was like, "You're in our neighborhood now," and he's like, "No, I don't want to be here." He's not Vandal because he's playing Vandal Gragas. He's trying to like put some graffiti up of saying, hashtag Splash Fu sucks, and they weren't taking it. They stopped him. So
the cleanup crew with the police coming to break it up.
Yeah, if only it was Officer Caitlyn, compared to.
If only.
If it was Officer Caitlyn, this would make so much more sense now, but it doesn't. Come on, couldn't go with the Officer Caitlyn skin.
But yeah, like I was saying before the hectic random team fight broke out, Cass has like 400 AP before she's built a death cap. So when she builds a death cap, she's gonna get a lot of AP.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a lot of damage coming out from this Cassiopeia.
Baron?
Yeah, I think they're going for the Baron. Especially with this damage from Luna's. Look, just stun, E. Just keep on spamming that Twin Fangs. Ginger going over the wall, stun the Poseidon. Looking like he just wants to zone them out while they finish up the dragon. Google kind of went over the wall as well, and I was like, oh, I need to be over here because I need to smite. They need to be very careful here. Oh, and the steal coming up from Splash Through with the Ziggs ultimate. They were not looking for that. I think, Righteous Square coming out as well. They catch up to Google and Wumple, and they just don't know what to do. They're like, we need to fight this. Poseidon get a great new ult as well. Luna's being able to stun up a few of the members. That's one down. Lord Merc able to pick up the Google. Ginger in the front line, but he does not have Meganar. Yeah, he needs to be super careful. He's taking a lot of damage. Wumple able to do some type of damage here. Hook going out. Flash coming out from Splash Crew. Wow, that was this great fight coming out. Wumple in a little trouble here. Needs to be super careful. And that is a dead Jinx if I've seen one. Merc missing his... There it is. There's the crit. There's the headshot. And by God, what a play coming out from IG there.
It was such a good attempt too. Like Ginger jumps in as Meganar and knocks all of them away with his ult, so they can't flash over the wall to steal it, and then the Ziggs ult still gets it.
Yeah, wow, great play coming out from IG. Really turned that game around. If you look at gold now, they're only 1.3k gold down, dragging up on 120. They thought they were gonna pick it up, but you know, close enough.
I mean, before that last fight, they were what, 5-6k gold behind?
Yeah, it was about like I think it was about a 4k gold deficit. So bringing it only into a 1.6, about a 1k gold deficit is very impressive. And being able to pick up that Baron as well, Splash. I mean, people went and questioned this game because, you know, like we said, both teams are very tilt-worthy, and Splash is definitely one of those few people that I feel like is hit or miss. But he definitely showed up this game, hitting that great ultimate. I mean, even from last game, like you said before at the start of this game, he ended up going with he was like 0 or 1, 0, like he had 0 deaths from last game. Going into this game, yeah, he has 3 deaths now, but he has almost as much farm as the Cassiopeia. It's very impressive.
I mean, last game he was 2-0-1 on Orianna, despite being ganked constantly, and. Yeah. He has the weaker early game this time around because Cass can harass him a little more. Cass has the better ganker in the Gragas. So, like, he's doing pretty well. He's died the same number of times as Luna's. And he has, not only has he stolen the Baron, he's also been doing a really large amount of damage in the team fights.
Yep. And this dragon coming out, Luna's getting ulted as well with the Lantern coming out. Icigo going in for the engage, got the ult. The Ziggs ult coming out as well. That is a lot of damage coming out from IG here. They need to be super careful. Google getting caught up as well. Caitlyn, Lord Merc is looking for the cleanup, but they just kind of want to walk away right here. Icy Killer in a really bad spot. Get picked up by Luna's. Luna's taking a lot of damage from the Ziggs bomb as well, and the Caitlyn autos. They just take this dragon. The dragon just kind of hitting them from the side. And that is Dragon going over to IG. What a great fight coming out from IG there. Picking off the first dragon of the game. Hook coming out onto Poseidon, but he does not want to go in there at all.
That was a great team fight. Like seeing Icy just get to dive in and actually get to do his stuff now because he's got the Frozen Heart. He has a little bit of MR, but Cass wasn't close enough to actually do all the damage to him yet. So he was just getting to tank up all this damage and not care. And he got to keep 3 people inside Splash's ult.
Yeah, very, very well done by IG. I feel like there's a few mistakes there with Poseidon going a little bit too aggressive. Same for Icy Killer to kind of go a little bit too much far, and like you said before, not enough MR on Icy Killer. Or actually, I do take that back. Poseidon does have a good amount of MR. He does have his Locket, as well as say. Well, he does have Cinder Hulk and a Sight Zone, so he does have a good amount of HP as well, but still, they need to be very careful with this Cassiopeia. She's going to end up doing a lot of damage coming into the late game with her free AP scaling that she gets from her passive. Like, it's a 500 stacks is the last mark that she has to hit.
Yeah, I mean, like, before that team fight, Cass didn't have a death cap. now Cass has a death cap. Suddenly she has 700 AP.
Yeah, that is a lot of damage coming out from just one champion. 700 AP is a lot, and only 30 minutes in the game. As well as her having amplifying team, I'm gonna go ahead and say that that's a Void Staff next item coming out from Cassiopeia, and that's gonna just demolish anyone, even if they have MR. So Icy Killer and Poseidon really need to be careful here. I feel like Pocket Knife and Icy Killer need to try to focus this Cassiopeia. Wumple is doing a good amount of the damage to them in reference to AD, but they really need to be careful here, and they need to get another Wombo combo off like they just did. Icy Killer getting hooked. Nothing they could do there.
I mean, it's very
note,
unfortunate. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Luna's did pop her Seraph's Embrace just a second ago. Not sure why. I think she was trying to dodge the bomb damage, which is a lot, because he does have a Loon's Echo, Hourglass, and Morelos. So there's a lot of damage coming out from Splash Root at the moment.
It's just a little unfortunate that the only thing that that IG managed to get from the Baron buff was Dragon and a couple more kills. I say that, like, those are very useful things for them, but
yeah.
There's a tower bot lane. They could have pushed down mid. They definitely don't want to lose the third dragon. Like, first dragon's very good for them, but they'll have another chance at a dragon. I think that they probably should have gotten something that would give them more available map pressure.
I think it was more about the lines that they were unsure that how far ahead they were after that Baron. They were like, all right, we really just... I think they went for more the safe
Yeah,
trade,
they went the safe route. I got you.
And it's understandable. I do think that they should have went for more of the split push. Get bot tower, get maybe a second mid tower compared to something that other than just like a dragon. But either way. And I didn't know who that went to. I think Splash did pick that up there, stealing it away from Google. Baron up is in 20 seconds, so I'm expecting another great fight coming out from IG. They're all backing because they know it's up in 15 seconds. They're like, oh shit, we need to get our items before this dragon pops up. They're kind of getting a little bit late here. 9 seconds left.
I think they'll get there in time. Like, I'm not sure that they'll kill it too quickly.
Be close. I don't know. With a Jinx and say a Cassiopeia, this is a dead dragon here. They need to be super careful.
That dragon's just gonna be gone.
That's a dead dragon. Not enough there. Ginger over the wall as well as Sala getting the hook on Poseidon. They need to be super careful right here. There's a lot of damage coming out. Rocket just missing as well as the rocket or bomb coming out from Ziggs as well. Ginger go back over the wall. Box coming up as well. Luna's hitting the great all over the wall. Icy Killer in a really bad spot. Poison just ticking, but not enough damage coming out from both Cassiopeia and Ginger. Sala coming away with just less than 200 HP. Wumple getting picked off as well. That was a lot of damage coming out from Pentagon.
It was almost unfortunate. Like, they had the timer. They knew they killed it. They could have gotten a little bit more vision on the Baron area to see that they were doing Baron, and they timed their back just way off. They could have possibly gone back a little earlier. I almost think that they should have just tried to stay by and steal it, but not try and fight.
Yeah, it was. I agree. I think they should have went for the steal over the fight, and I mean, it was really just an unfortunate timing there. They did not pick the right time of backing. They should have backed a good minute before they did. They were just trying to get their last of the items, but it just did not work out for them. So they need to be super careful here coming up. Granted that they do not have Baron buff this time, whereas Hands of God does. And this might be a dead tower. That is a dead tower. That is 4-2 now. Gold difference back in the favor of Hands of God. Granted, it was still only a 1k gold. It went from a 1k gold lead to basically a 3k gold lead now.
But even then, they're still only ahead by, a dragon kill and 2 towers.
Yeah. It's pretty close. This is a classic Fnatic gank here. But nope, they're just going for the third dragon, the best dragon of the game. And that is a dead dragon. Very, 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 very quick dragon. Killing from just from the Jinx and Cassiopeia. That's just a lot of damage coming from both of them.
That's okay. We'll see. Maybe they can defend this tower.
I
Possibly.
think they can. There's a lot of poke. You know, you have a Ziggs, a Caitlyn, and then you have like, you know, your Maokai and your Alistar, Nunu just kind of like sit back and, you know, be the front line to tank their poke damage. Whereas say Hands of God really doesn't have too much of a front line to tank it. You know, Gnar really relies on getting in Mega Gnar to actually be in the fight, not be in Mega Gnar the entire time. And Google kind of, I mean, he has some pretty heavy tank sets. He did go for the Spirit Visage and the Cinder Hulk compared to say like a Sight Stone and more. I mean, those are pretty tank, but a little bit more selfish tank items, whereas Nunu went for the Locket build and the Sight Stone.
Well, I mean, even though he did go for the Spirit Visage instead of getting a Sightstone, he's still been buying wards and warding. It just means that he's been paying for his wards and getting resistances instead, which, for Gragas, with his healing passive, that's a lot of effective health that he gets out of the bonus healing.
The only problem I have with that is that it's only every 8 seconds, I believe, compared to where if he went something like Banshees or Locket, he just had straight MR compared to, like, you know, increased healing. So I feel like even Banshees would have been a better item there, but either way, having the Gragas passive increased every 8 seconds is still really good. But some of these fights, I mean, if you just watch the fights, he kind of falls over pretty quickly at the start, or just gets caught out in a weird spot. And like I said, IG, they're going to be able to wait out this Baron just because of their wave clear. Even with Baron minions, they just nothing they could do about it.
It was already a worth Baron, though. They did manage to get, you know, they secured third dragon, and they also got a tower out of it, so it was only one tower.
Only one. But, Pocket Knife going to engage Righteous Glory, but does not hit. Ooh. The ult, Muda's, almost there. 20 HP, 30 HP. That was very close. That was a lot of damage coming from the splash. I actually didn't even see the ult hit. All I know is I looked to my left and saw Luna's was less than. It looked like she was just dead, but you know, didn't see any death singles come up. Wardenberg kind of in a bad spot. He's a little far up, but able to net his way out of safety. Poseidon, Pocket coming up. Traps coming out as well, knocking up Google. Google going in. He ults Merc into the traps. He's able to get out as well. That is a 3-man Cassiopeia ult, as well as on top of the box. Salah is able to sit back. Pocket Knife getting thrown in there. Poseidon get hooked and flayed back in. Salah is able to survive. Wow, what a great Gragas ult. Definitely was not intended to knock back into the traps of Jinx traps, but either way, very impressive. Barrel coming out from Google, and Luna's actually just hit her Luna's able to hit his 500 stacks on Cassiopeia.
That was a very interesting team fight. I kind of assumed that IG would have it because they had the flank, they had the catch on somebody, but like Google being able to just disrupt them directly into the cast, into direct damage from Jinx. It was crazy. It forced Merc out really fast.
Yeah, Merc just, he went from 100 to 20%. He was able to, net and flash his way out of the fight, but it was, I mean, like I said, I don't think it was intentional, but the fact that he was able to Gragas barrel him into the Jinx traps, I don't think anyone was actually expecting it. That's why they didn't go on Merc when he was there, because I think if they would have went on Merc there, he would have been just dead. But either way, that turned into a free inhib for Hands of God.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll say he planned it.
It was all planned. I mean, baited.
It's just as planned.
There. Yeah, right. Baron up in 20 seconds, and IG actually getting ready for it compared to last time where they backed a little bit too soon. Merc and Splash are not a natural position for this. Both do not, or at least Splash's home guard. Hands of God actually getting in line as well. They really want to be able to take advantage of this Baron. Splash walking up as well as Merc. They need to be very careful here because this is a Nunu, and I think they're going to really rely on Nunu. Oh, he cannot flash over, so there's really nothing you can do here. I think they're looking for the good old splash brew steal. Not close enough. Icy Killer able to flash over, pulls off his Righteous Glory as well. Pocket Knife in the back line as well. Google in the front line as well. Luna's doing some damage, but Google is getting caught out here and is going to die to Merc. Wumple in a bad area right here and is actually going to die. Oh wow, the Twist of Fate's being able to follow him all the way there, and Merc able to pick up that second kill. Minions in their base though. That Winions maybe being able to stop it, but Merc getting stopped by Ginger. Uh-oh, that's a lot of damage coming up from Ginger with that Boomerang Blade.
Ginger did manage to stop the back though.
Yeah, he did stop the back of Merc and Poseidon. But
unfortunately, they lost 2 of their Barons.
Yeah, that is another Baron going over to the hands of God. I was gonna say hands of God, but you know, name Hands of God just makes it a lot easier. Splash Fruit almost getting to steal, just throwing a little bit too late. You know,
I almost think that Poseidon was out of position there. He could have been a little bit closer around the side. I mean, Icy Killer can jump over the wall. Pocket Knife can jump over the wall as long as he has a target.
Yeah.
Merc, although Merc won't, but Merc can jump over the wall. Splash can jump over the wall. Poseidon can't.
Yeah, he relies on, he's really relying on his flash, and I don't think Poseidon was really, like you said, in position. He should be on the other side of the wall. Poseidon kind of caught out here. Ginger just did so much damage with that hyper damage. I mean, yeah, I think the fact that he didn't go for the steal is very not really beneficial for him. But the damage coming out from Luna's and Google and Ginger just takes the dragon so quick.
And that's with the dragon taking less damage from them because they have more buffs.
Yeah. And having a Force Dragon, that's to increase attack damage to minions, right? Yeah, minions and monsters. So even then, the next Baron is going to be super quick.
We'll have to see. They might be able to get this tower. There's going to be some harass and wave clear out from IG, but if they're not careful, Google can knock them out of the base.
Yeah, it's
they're going to lose top tower though.
Google kind of in a bad spot here. Pocket Knife as well. Has to ult to get out of there. Uh-oh, that's a lot of damage coming out from Luna's. Ginger TPing in as well. They need to be very careful with this Baron buff here.
And Ginger's already Mega Gnar. He was very close whenever he flashed. Or teleported.
Flash hook coming out the Splash Brew into the box. Into the Gnar ult. I think it's just called Gnar, right? Yeah. Ice Killer getting hooked to
Gnar! Exclamation point.
Yeah, and that is a pause. Alright. Alright, well. Rip.
It's one of these. We are lagging.
They're lagging. Alright, the BM is real. So we're going to go ahead and end it here. And we're going to give the win over to Hands of God. So...
Alright, well, GG Hands of God.
Yeah, great play coming.